the fleet's flagship light torpedo is to receive a £60 million upgrade to counter the latest undersea threats. Citing from the Royal Navy website, Whitehall has awarded a contract to BAE Systems to upgrade the Stingray, the standard torpedo carried by Royal Navy ships and helicopters, as well as the RAF's new P-8 Poseidon long-range maritime patrol aircraft. The Stingray has been in service since 1983. It is currently carried by Merlin and Wildcat helicopters, which drop the weapon into the sea around suspected enemy submarines, or fired from horizontal launchers on Type 23 frigates. The existing Mod 1 variant travels at speeds of up to 45 knots, targeting submerged targets via active-passive sonar. On impact, a 45 kg Torpex explosive charge, a sixth of the torpedo's weight, detonates, destroying the target. Although it has been continually improved since its introduction, it is time for a fundamental overhaul of the Stingray to develop a new version. Over the next 4 years, BAE Systems engineers in Portsmouth and Fife will design, develop and build prototypes of the Stingray Mod 2, ahead of in-water trials. The upgrade will introduce new technological features, including additional deployment options, ensuring the Stingray continues to meet the challenges of current and future emerging threats. It comes as the Royal Navy's heavyweight torpedo, the Spearfish, undergoes its midlife upgrade and is now being introduced into service with the submarine service. This is great news for the Royal Navy and other Stingray users, said Commodore Steve Bolton, Deputy Director of Aviation Programs for the Royal Navy. We are taking an already excellent anti-submarine weapon and turning it into the best in class. Scott Jameson, Managing Director of BAE Systems Maritime Services Business, said the upgrade would benefit the UK and its allies for years to come. The Stingray torpedo remains at the heart of anti-submarine warfare. It is a great vote of confidence for the company to enter the next phase of development and demonstrate its additional capabilities. This contract is critical to the UK's strategic undersea defence plan and is a significant step in advancing our capabilities for decades to come. The contract will support over 100 highly skilled engineering manufacturing jobs at BAE Systems sites in Portsmouth and Hill End, Fife, and will also support high-tech suppliers across the UK. A little more about the Stingray torpedo. The Stingray is a British acoustic light-duty torpedo LWT manufactured by GEC Marconi, which was later acquired by BAE Systems. It entered service in 1983. Whereas the Stingray Mod 1 is a technologically advanced light torpedo capable of engaging all submarine threats in both open sea and littoral warfare. In service with the Royal Navy and Royal Air Force, it was recently selected by the Norwegian Armed Forces and is capable of integration into the mission systems of surface and air platforms. The Stingray Mod 1 is a lightweight anti-submarine torpedo that is air-launched from frigates, helicopters and maritime patrol aircraft against submarine targets of all types. It has a sophisticated acoustic navigation system and highly accurate navigation system. It can detect, classify, and engage targets automatically. Developed from its predecessor, the Mod 0 torpedo, the Stingray Mod 1 features an entirely new sonar system, insensitive munitions warhead, new tactical and navigation systems, and a new seawater battery system. It has low maintenance costs and requires no intrusive maintenance over its lifetime. In the 1950s, the Royal Navy was equipped with British-designed and built Mk-30 airdrop torpedoes. These were passive homing weapons which relied on detecting the noise from submarine targets. However, as submarine noise levels decreased, these weapons became ineffective. A design for a British Mk-31 torpedo which would have used active echolocation sonar failed to receive government approval for production. US Mk-44 torpedoes were purchased for the Royal Navy in the 1960s to fill this role, and later replaced by US Mk-46 torpedoes. A desire not to be dependent on U.S. torpedo purchases led to a research program starting in 1964 to develop a British torpedo. Initially designated Naval and Air Staff Requirement NASR 7511, it was much later in the late 1970s designated the Stingray torpedo.